Adopt, don't shop. About 7 million stray animals live in the U.S. Among these 7 million, according to the Humane Society of the United States, only about 6 to 8 million cats and dogs join the nation's 3,500 shelters every year. Every year, overburdened shelters take on millions of strays, neglected and missing animals, and you make room for others by adopting animals. Not only can you give a second chance to more animals, but the cost of your adoption goes directly to making other shelters care better for the animals they take in. There are so many reasons to adopt a dog instead of buying one from a breeder. There's more variety, it saves lives, it's cheaper, and it keeps pets off the street. I want people to understand the importance of adopting their pets rather than buying from a pet store. Tonight I will share with you why you should adopt and not shop, and explain why it's important, why this is an important topic to me. Let's begin on why you should adopt and not shop. You get a wider variety of personalities and breeds. The best thing about bringing a dog out of the shelter is the rescuers that will relate to you. You might inquire about a dog's history, personality, and other information you would like to know. This gives you more thoughts about whether or not the dog you're interested in is the correct one for you. You get a lot of choices when you're adopting a dog from a shelter. You can choose from large, small, tall, short, overweight, the slim, the short, the long hair, the hyper, the calm, the young, and the elderly. Surely you will find a dog that fits your circumstances and choice best. There are so many more pros than there are cons when it comes to adopting. Adopting saves lives. Animal shelters and rescue groups are full of happy, safe pets only waiting for them to be taken home by someone. Because of human question, such as relocation or divorce, most shelters' pets end up there, not because the animals did something wrong, but because the humans just put them in the shelter because they were going through something. Many of them are house trained already and are used to living with families. If more individuals adopted pets instead of acquiring them, the number of euthanized animals could be significantly decreased. Shelters are facing overcrowding across the nation, especially in large areas lacking education and knowledge of spay and neutering. According to the ASPCA, an estimated 1.5 adoptable shelter dogs and cats are euthanized each year in the U.S. The shelters simply do not have the adequate room and resources to support all the animals brought there. A space opens up in the shelter or rescue each time an animal is adopted. So when you adopt a cat or a dog, not only are you saving the life of that animal, but you are saving the life of the animal that's coming into it. You can save money and lives. Expensive does not mean well-bred. Shopping for a dog is much more expensive than adopting a dog. Some of the most costly dogs, according to the Prudent Pet, are Samoyeds, which are $14,000, Chow Chows, which are $11,000, Rottweilers, which are $9,000, and Afghan Hounds, which are $7,000. Usually, adoption rates for the dog vary from 118 to 677, and cats can range from $34 to $276, according to the Humane Society. Vaccines, spaying and neutering, and required health checks are usually included in the adoption fees, although dogs brought from breeders are not. Those who want a purebred or designer dog, such as Yorkie Poos, Golden Doodles, Cavapoos, and Cockapoos, often go to a reputable or smaller breeders instead of puppy mills. Breeders are sadly also part of the same issue as puppy mills. Several breeders may simply be puppy mills that advertise themselves as responsible breeders. Like puppy mills, dog breeding is a corporation, so dogs and puppies are still their goods, no matter how caring a dog breeder seems, and the breeders are intent on making a profit. These are tragedies. These are animals that are living beings and not just quick cash or a helpless statistic. It will decrease the amount of homeless animals living on the streets. Around 100% of animals entering shelters have been spayed or neutered. This is problematic given that in just 6 years, one unspayed female and her offspring will produce 76,000 dogs. And one unspayed female cat in 7 years, the Watauga Humane Society estimates her offspring can produce 420,000 kittens. The key reason animals are in the shelter, the owner gives them up, or they are discovered on the street by animal control. Less than 2% of cats and only 15 to 20% of dogs are returned to their owners, according to the National Council on Pet Population Research and Policy. Compared to the number that are abandoned by their owners, almost twice as many animals enter the shelter as strays. Most strays are lost animals that have been properly kept indoors or given identification. Now you know why you should adopt and not shop, and why this is an important topic. I've always been passionate about rescuing dogs. I've rescued my own dog, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I just want to get the word out to people to convince them to stop buying from these backyard breeders and pet stores. This is a vicious cycle that will never end unless we do something about it. So please, adopt, don't shop. Thank you.